All right. Hey folks, my name's Alan Parks.
And I'm Mark Larson.
And we are the Smart Fellers! Yay!
Silly stuff.
All right. Hey, we're going to do a tour of our pedal boards today.
Oh, goody.
We did one in the past, but they've changed as they will.
Mine grew.
Yeah.
Yours kind of grew a little too.
Yeah, I think so. And it's got a lot of the same stuff on it, but not entirely. So, we're just going to tiptoe through and talk about some of the ins and outs of pedal boards. And I would like to invite you, if there's anything that you see on these boards that you would like us to do a little bit more in-depth of a video on, just let us know in the comments. And we'll contemplate doing product reviews for anything that we own. Once again, we're not endorsed by any of these people.
But we'd love to be.
Yeah, we're open to the idea. At any rate, let's start with a guitar board, because, face it, there's more guitar players who use pedals than bass players who use pedals.
You have a lot of pedals for a bass player.
I know, it's ridiculous, but I like it. So, okay, run us down your signal chain, Mark.
Wow, okay, so I'm entering here at the wah,
okay,
which is the best place for the wah, really. Going into the tuner. From the tuner going to the Tumnus,
which is a
clone.
A clone?
Yeah.
What's it do?
It's a low gain overdrive.
Okay.
Also known as transparent overdrive, whatever that means.
Right.
Same with this, the Wampler Belle, but this one's based off the Noble's RD1, I believe, which is the circuit a lot of guys in Nashville are using. So this is Brian's take on that. And then it's going into the dual fusion. So you may ask, why so many drive pedals? Well, they all sound different to me.
Yeah, because you have room for them on your board.
Well, that's just why I have the big board.
The big board.
Because lately I've been gigging a lot with different groups, and I need a variety of drives. So that's kind of why that's there. And of course, the Velvet Fuzz, which I love. And then into the boost. That's the clean boost.
So you have three pedals that are drives, but one's 2 channels. So basically 4 drives.
I have 4 drives and a fuzz.
And a fuzz.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And then a clean boost.
Right.
Which basically just boosts any of these signals, even when these 4 are off, I still get a clean boost. And when they're on, I just get more of what I've got.
Right. Which
is perfect.
Of course. Okay.
So then it's going from here to the input of the amp. And then this is the effects loop. These are going into the back of the amp.
All right, so coming back out of the amplifier to your pedal board.
Into the 2-timer.
Which is
it's a delay. It's a slapback delay with two different lengths of time. Now, they're not really all that different, but they're different enough. So.
Well, I mean, but then you have 2 different timings available to you.
Well, yeah, if it's a fast song, then I can get, a
faster
nice
delay.
Quick delay.
Right.
If it's a little bit slower, I can get a little less. So
right. So
they do 2.
It's just a choice. Better than having 2 different pedals on there, or bending over and tweaking knobs between songs so much.
Well, this is also a delay pedal, and that's why I have these both on here, so I don't have to reach down. When I want slapback, I go to this pedal. Right. If I want, some echo, some delay, or whatever, I go to this pedal.
Okay. So you're not really gonna have both pedals on at the same time at any.
Not really.
Not really. That's a
you
little
could,
much.
But
yeah, that's a bit much.
Slapback with delay. Okay.
Right. Sure.
But this yeah, so I don't have to reach over and tweak this most of the time, which is why I like having them both there.
Right.
So and then into the Hydra, which is reverb and tremolo.
Right. And okay, 2 channels, one of each.
Love this pedal, by the way. I also have a Flint, Strymon Flint. And when I was looking to get another pedal like that, I thought there was something wrong with it, but it just happened to be the power supply.
Oh.
Wasn't putting out enough amperage.
Ah, okay.
So I studied, I looked and I looked for a video that would, you know, AB both those pedals.
Yeah.
Because they both do the same thing. Yeah. In their own way. I never saw one. So maybe we'll do one of those.
We should do one of those then, huh? If it's not there.
Exactly.
Okay, and so then from here, you're going where?
Now I'm going back into the amp to the return.
Okay, to the return of the FX loop.
Yeah.
Right. Powered
by the Zuma. So that's pretty much it for this setup.
Okay, cool. Why don't you give us a taste of the different overdrives and such you got on there?
Well, that's on.
Which one? I can't see the light.
Wampler Belle.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my clean.
There you are.
Yeah. I just dialed in a little bit of grit, not too much. And kind of the same with the Tumnus. Here it has a little more nasally, kind of
little softer sound too.
Mid-rangey, yeah.
Okay,
cool. Funny, forget which is which. One of them has a treble knob and one has a bass knob.
Okay.
But I like having both, and sometimes I run them both together.
Sure.
If I really want some.
So let's hear that.
Okay.
You can talk about it. Do it.
Boosting volume. So that gives me a lot more.
That's an aggressive sound.
More drive.
Yeah, that's a much more aggressive sound.
Yeah. So this channel here, I forget. I think this a Paisley, and what was the other one? Oh, I did look it up.
Okay.
But it's a based off of Wampler's Brad Paisley pedal. So. Kind of like these two together, but not quite so much.
No, not as aggressive though.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other side.
This one's a little more.
Yeah, a little more trebly.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it might be the guitar.
It might be.
But I kind of feel like this is more like a classic rock sound than this is. This is more like a vintage tone. This is more classic rock.
Okay.
And together they wail.
Oh boy. All that. Cool.
Okay, and then Fuzz. And I've got it pretty much tamed down.
Yeah, that's not too over the top.
But listen to this. That's Harry.
There you go. Yeah. Is that the switch labeled Harry?
No.
It should be.
I think it's more Fuzz. Basically.
It's just more Fuzz. Okay.
So thank you.
Same thing, only louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that pedal. It's in fact I have 2 of them.
Right.
So.
All right. And then.
Drives. So then the delay.
Right.
Very fast, right?
Yeah.
This one.
Right. Ba-up to ba-up.
Yep. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really great for stuff like.
Yeah, that's rockabilly tones.
Yeah. But this one's great for soloing.
Yeah.
That kind of deal.
Yeah.
This one. Let's see.
Okay. You got this one set really long.
It's not real long.
Well, it's a lot longer than those other two.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
It's about 5 or 6. I love this because I can tap it.
Tap the tempo. Yeah. And it's nice also because this one's, it's probably hard to see from the angles we get, but this one, the pedal itself is pretty high up.
It is.
It's taller than these buttons. So you can, in the back line, it's still easy to hit.
It's always in the back row.
Yeah, because it's so darn tall, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the others are kind of like set them and leave them for a tune. That you might be fooling around with a little bit while you're performing.
Yeah, I do. I adjust the repeats on it sometimes. And the setting here also, what the type of delay that it gets.
Okay.
So that's that one. And then this, more reverb. It's set on a plate right now. I've got spring on the amp.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, and then this.
Tremolo, yeah.
This is actually a panning tremolo that it's set on.
Oh.
It has 3 types of tremolo, 3 types of reverb. And it has presets, which I love. Anyway, it's kind of new to me, so I'm still figuring out how to use it.
Yeah,
But
right on. And then, so you're using the Strymon power supply.
yeah. Right.
With a spot in your board. And we'll be talking about power supplies a little bit more in a little while. So, cool, man. So, that's the pedal board that you're using for, that's like a, for most gigs kind of a thing,
well,
right?
so, here's the deal. You'll notice I've got extra cables sitting here.
Right.
Because when I'm playing other gigs, I will configure the board differently. Not move pedals, but just change cables.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll, with one band, I'll be playing guitar, but I'm also playing lap steel. So I've got to come out of this pedal into an A-B switch, which, you know, both instruments go into the A-B switch. Then they come out of that and go through the reverb section.
Because you're going to use reverbs for both instruments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I have these extra cables sitting here.
So you get there set up, reroute to the necessary.
I don't have to build a board for the gig.
Yeah, right.
Which I do a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Depends. But this is what I'm doing right now because I've got a string of gigs that I've got to be ready for.
And these are the ones that are using, yeah.
Sometimes I don't have time to switch everything
Rebuild
out.
your board.
Rebuild my board, for sure.
Cool.
I mean, I could do this with a smaller board, but I would probably have to do without some things. Like I wouldn't have delay options.
Yeah.
So I'd have to switch to slapback.
You'd be twiddling knobs between songs and such, and making noise and all of that stuff.
Have to eliminate some of the probably the the fuzz and the drive, and just go with these little guys here.
Yeah.
This would be off of the board.
Right. So this gives you the acreage.
Yeah. I mean, I've even got room.
Yeah, you got extra room.
I need another pedal.
Ooh. All right. So there's the guitar pedals. Okay, moving over to the bass side. This is my homemade pedal board. I bought a suitcase at a secondhand store and built it to fit in it. It's 2 levels. I've got a power source built in underneath here, and I can't even remember what I've got in there. What the heck is it?
That's the Voodoo Labs Power Plus 2.
See, he knows. But I've got it hidden so I don't have to see it. So I have an array of stuff. So we're going to start here, my signal chain. I've got a ToneBone, which is basically a really fancy A-B switch because I do a lot of jobs where I'm doubling on electric and upright. So input 1, which it's switched at now, doesn't really have a lot of options. You've got like a shape contour switch, which I just leave flat on channel 1, and there's your channel 1 level. And that's about all you get. And then channel 2, since it's an upright and it's a little bit, I don't know what you would say, it's just odd to amplify. Channel 2 uses these, there's the level and then a 3-band EQ. And I, you know, I do have it set just a little bit to de-emphasize the highs and a little bit more on the bottom. And this also has a boost knob, and this doesn't belong there.
So when you activate that switch, that controls the boost.
This controls the boost. So this is like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a boost. But you can switch it so it switches a, it can switch, instead of the boost, it would switch a effects loop.
Oh, nice.
Built into it. So you can have either boost or the loop or both.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a great feature, that boost.
Yeah. Because
I'd like to see that in more pedals.
Yeah, and also for bass, you know, if you don't have something to give you a little extra when you do get a solo, it really can get lost. It's nice to have just a little bit of a bump. I really don't use it. I just haven't tamed it yet, really. You know, so anyhow.
But this allows you to switch from electric to upright
and have the levels even.
And you have a little tone control for the upright, which is great because it's going to sound different.
Just
in the
to
amp.
Balance them, yeah.
You wouldn't have to go over the amp and tweak the knobs.
Right. So it works pretty well.
That's great.
The one thing I don't like about it much is it's got, I think it's an 18-volt supply. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's 15. It says so right there. 15. So you have to power it with a wall wart. Which that's all this red cable, and
that's what that is.
And it plugs into the back of the Voodoo Labs.
Boy, that needs to be zip tied.
I know, I've got to get that nailed down. So, you know, that's okay because there's an outlet for it, and that makes it work, and I'm pretty happy with that, and that's all right. So anyhow, so then I go over into a Boss tuner. It's pretty, pretty basic. That's straight out of there into this. You got to have a tuner. Then I've got, this is fairly new for me, I've got the Spectra comp, TC Electronics. It's got the tone print thing, so you can look it up on your phone and change the parameters. I can't remember exactly which one I use, but it's, I really don't plan on changing it much.
Yeah, that's a set it and forget it.
Yeah, it's a set it and forget it. I just turn this on and leave it all the time. Compression on bass is really great, especially if you're changing from fingerstyle to picking to slap and pop. It's nice to have compression to keep the levels even. And on upright, it actually helps me a lot with, because I play slap style, it evens out all of the slapping, and I can play, muted ghost notes, and they come out a little bit more on the upright and the electric. So I do like it quite a lot, and it's tiny. It doesn't take a lot of space.
That's nice for a pedal that's a set and forget it. Just you can almost put it down here.
Oh my, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's a good idea. So right, so coming out of there, I've got an Electro Harmonix POG, poly-octave generator. So it's, instead of some octave pedals like the Boss one, which most bass players will use, this will play double stops without glitching out. And another nice thing about this is a lot of guys don't use the upper octave. I'll get some original signal in. A lot of guys using the Boss one, it doesn't want to go below a C on the A string. This one, no problem. Wow. Right. So that's why I had one of the Boss ones, and it was like, what? I can't play below C? Come on. So I invested in this one, which I like quite a lot. It's really good for just thickening the sound up. It sounds kind of cool on the upright when I use a bow, because it sounds like, a string section. And so,
if the guitar player drops out to play a solo.
Right, exactly, and it's a riff-oriented tune, which we've done before. I'll kick that on, and then that riff doesn't fall apart. Yeah. So going from,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Going from there, I've got a pitchfork. So the pitchfork is like the octave pedal, only other intervals other than octaves, though it will do octaves. I've got it set to play fifths. So if I play an F, it's also playing this C. Yeah. It'll also play, so it's the the C below it, so a fourth down, or however you want to call it. But I only got it set like that because I was playing in a rock band that was one guitar and it needed some thickening. So if you're playing some rock stuff and it just sounds kind of thin, especially in like a power trio kind of a setup, that will thicken things up. And I have it set so the upper octave, the upper fifth, isn't quite as prominent as the root note. As a matter of fact, it's up just a little bit more than I like right now. Which button is it? It's this one. So it's just thickener, bass thickener.
That's pretty versatile for a two-knob pedal.
It does all sorts of stuff.
It does a lot of different things.
Yeah, so this is just a blend. But then, yeah, it's got different intervals, a 6th, a 7th. Yeah, I know, right? You know,
what did you use that for?
All the way down to a detuned stuff.
That's cool.
Which is almost like a chorus, but it'll do a major second. Well, that was a minor second. It'll do a major second. Minor second. Major second. Let's see, third. Do a major third. It'll do a perfect fourth. The fifth that I used. It'll do a minor 7.
Wow.
And then it's got octaves. Or 2 octaves. Or 3 octaves. So, at any rate, I leave it on the 5th. So, bass thickener.
Hey, back to that doubling thing. So it does sound like a chorus, kind of.
Yeah.
So would that take the place of the chorus? Could that make more space on your board?
It could, but the chorus is more controllable as far as the depth of it and the
speed
and the speed of it.
Yeah.
So you know,
and it doesn't really have those options on that.
No options on there.
Yeah.
It's basically a detuned.
Right.
So
it does kind of sound like a chorus.
It does kind of sound like a chorus at a certain setting. So, all right, there we are, back clean. Okay, and then I've got my 3-channel Sansamp, and it's a set it and forget it. Usually, I got it set here, so it's a really nice beefy clean tone. Here it is off. So there I've got a nice good fat tone.
So when you have that off, you're hearing the amp, you're hearing the amp circuitry rather than
exactly.
So this is your amp fixer.
This is my amp straightener. Yeah, and I've got one of the single channel ones too that I show you later. Yeah. And we did a whole video on getting tones on this.
Yeah.
And then the middle one is a little bit of dirt. Let me turn that down just a skosh. So there's a little bit of dirt on that. It's probably not coming through real well, but
well, if you turn it down, it's going to be less.
Yeah, dirt. But it's going to be loud in here. And then here's a lot of dirt. So usually it stays right there. Super versatile, really nice overdrive tones for bass available on the Sansamp stuff. Really good. And it's also a direct box.
Does that have an amp simulation in it?
Not specifically, but yeah, kind of. You know, it comes with presets in the, settings in the manual, so you can make it sound like a, an Ampeg or whatever, though I don't think it does quite. But anyhow. And then we've got a chorus. This is the Danelectro COOLCAT chorus, which I really like the sound of. It seems to have a nice richness to it. I also have a bass chorus, but I don't like it quite as much.
Yeah,
it doesn't have
I have one too. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah. Drawback about this is not only is it big, it's an 18 volt, so I have to use 2 channels out of my power supply to go in there. And Voodoo Labs will sell you a Y cable. So you plug the 2 power into it down to 1 that plugs into the board, into the effect. So it takes up 2 spaces off of my power supply, which is not great.
Yeah, you have an extra one here on your tuner.
But I do have an extra one on the output of the tuner, so it's okay because I've got plenty. I've got enough power supply for what I need to run. But yeah, I do like the tone of the Danelectro chorus. And then I've got a Boss EQ pedal in case you get one of those weird brooms. I seldom use this, actually. I seldom use it. It's another good function of these is a boost.
Yeah.
So a solo boost, you can set it for a solo boost and even like maybe give it some more upper mid so it punches when you kick over for a solo. A lot of people will put these at the end of their signal chain for bass players to regain some of the bottom end that they may lose through some of their effects. I don't really have that problem with the effects I use. Yeah. But some guys will end up doing that just to keep it.
You have lots of tonal options here.
And that's the thing. Most of what I've got there is tonal manipulation. That affects a tone, that affects the tone, that affects the tone, and that will too. So, so I'm pretty well covered with that stuff. And the distortion that I'm using, the overdrive sounds, are coming out of a Sansamp, and that's got plenty of bottom end, so it's not going to fall off without it. So that's what I've got, and then I just go out of here straight into the board. Don't mess around with effects loops. I probably should at some point. If I was running delays and reverbs, I probably would.
Yeah.
But, you know, delays and reverbs are difficult to use with bass. It's hard to find a place for
Depends on what you're playing.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the ambient thing.
Right, the ambient stuff.
It would work for that.
It would be fine for that. But we're not doing that right now. And mostly I'm playing, like, jazz.
Yeah.
and old rock. And so don't really need that kind of reverb. So, yeah, there you go. That's sort of a walk through our pedal boards. Oh, how about the board itself that you've got there?
That's
a Gator board.
That's a Gator board.
And that comes with a case, right?
Yeah.
So that's really
soft
nice.
Case, zipper. You know.
And it's a big Velcro.
It's just one sheet of Velcro, which I love. I mean, I know this looks messy, but I'm constantly changing things around. So
well, it's down and out of the way.
Yeah.
So it's not...
I try to keep it as neat as possible.
Yeah.
But this particular board, I am not happy about the underneath side.
Right.
There's places to mount a power supply, but there's not enough height to put one.
Oh,
and I don't know what they designed them for, but well, like what power supply fits under there?
Yeah. Certainly not the one you've got.
Not the one I've got.
So let's show off our smaller versions.
Okay.
And it's because we have more than one pedal board.
Yeah.
So I need to move a couple of my things over to the other one.
Okay.
But yeah, let's get set up for that and have a look at it.
All right.
Okay, see you in a sec.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're back. So aren't they cute?
It's so teeny.
These adorable little things. So so you were talking about power supplies.
Yeah.
And fitting into boards.
Right.
So where's your power supply for this one?
It's underneath.
Okay, what you got? A Voodoo Labs there.
Voodoo
oh, that's
Labs.
The one I have.
That's the same one you have.
In my other board, yeah.
Yeah, but this particular board is designed to house this exact model.
Okay.
And so.
So is the board made by Voodoo Labs?
It's
made by somebody else.
It's made by Gator.
Oh.
It's also a Gator.
It's also a Gator.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't say it. Oh, there it says. Yeah.
This is Gator there.
Yeah.
But they make different size. These are great because they're metal.
Yeah.
The cables duck down in the side there. You know, it's good. Nice and, you know, you can't destroy these.
Yeah. That would be hard to beat up.
You could probably drop
No,
them.
does that one come with a case as well?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I have to make my own.
Yeah. I mean, you get the board and the case, you know, probably $100 or something.
And the Velcro was on already?
That, I think it came with the Velcro and I put it on myself.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So what have you got going on this one? So this is the one you use for your lap steel, right? Mostly?
Yeah. Yeah. When I'm using it in conjunction with my big board, because I have to boost the signal and I like using the compressor with the lap steel too.
Yeah, even it out.
And I just set this down below it and I just set and forget. Except for the tuner.
Except for the tuner.
Yeah. So I come out of here and I go into this AB box backwards. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So I go into one of the channels, and then my other board goes into the other channel, and then it comes out of here,
out of the input,
and goes into the reverb, and then to the amp.
Okay, because this is as opposed to the ToneBone I have, this is an amplifier switcher.
Yeah.
So it's designed to run backwards from a normal AB switch.
Yeah.
And you're running it like a regular AB switch anyway, because they work like that.
Yeah.
They're fine like that. You can do it either way.
Yeah.
I wonder
reversible.
I wonder if my ToneBone would, because it's active.
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure I want to try.
I don't know.
Anyhow.
It would be nice though to have lights so you know what's what.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'm like, oh, which channel am I on?
Yeah, I start punching buttons to figure it out.
But back to power supplies. This is my medium board, which is just like my big board.
Yeah.
This is the one I've had this one the longest. I got this first, and thought that it had these screw holes, and it came with the screws, of course, to house a power supply underneath here. The clearance right here is 1.25 inches, and so far I haven't seen a power supply
that thin.
That is that thin. I don't know what it's designed for, but it's useless to me. And so, like my Zuma, I have to put right here,
and it
takes up a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
Where I could put more pedals on there. So I do have to sacrifice when I use this board.
That's a little frustrating.
It can be. It just depends on, what the gig is.
Yeah.
But it's a good grab and go board, though.
Mm-hmm.
I like the size of it. If I could put the power supply underneath, I'd be a happy camper.
Yeah.
I like this format. With
it's
just
flexible.
The full sheet, you can put your pedals anywhere you want. So, another Gator.
Yeah. So this is my, if I'm playing like a jazz gig where I'm just going to play upright and I don't have to do any goofy sounds because it would irritate people.
Right.
This is my board. I made it. It's a piece of plywood with Velcro on it. Aren't you proud of me?
I had some like that.
Yeah, I mean, it works fine. It works fine. I'm using a one spot to power it. And so I've got my tuner. And I've got my old Sansamp. This thing has been through the wars. I really should replace. Yeah. Half of the not. Yeah, it's just a mess, but it still sounds good.
Yeah.
The direct out doesn't work anymore. It's been chewed up. I think it's probably the first pedal I ever bought.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. It's a good one. I really would like to replace it.
Yeah. But you use this pedal a lot when we're playing on battery power.
Yeah, because 9-volt battery lasts forever, and it gives it a nice big boost and conditions the sound up really nice. This is definitely the original amp straightener.
And the battery in the PA lasts longer too.
Right, the battery powered PA will last longer too because they're giving it plenty of signal. It takes less to get it up to speed.
Right.
So, and then I've got my compressor because it makes the bass sound really nice. And I like it. So this is definitely a set it and forget it. As a matter of fact, I usually just leave it on the amplifier.
Yeah.
I just put it in the back on the amp, and I use a little shorty cable to plug it in, and then I just come over and punch it for tuning or mutes.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I put it in, let me go get it and show you. It's my fancy, fabulous case.
Stick it in there.
It's a tool bag. Just put it in there. I could throw a couple of cables in there with it. Everything I need. It's kind of nice. So it's a tiny little pedal board. But like I said, fits on my amplifier, makes my basses sound that much nicer. It's worth it. It's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's a little a rundown of some of the pedals and pedal boards that we're using. Once again, if you have questions about the any individual pedals or pedal boards or power supplies, leave it down in the comments. Give us ideas for product reviews in the future.
Yeah, and if you know what fits under here, let me know.
Yeah, let us know for sure. And hey, hit like
and subscribe
and ring the bell, and send us money. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, send us money.
Ooh, there's an idea. We don't have Patreon yet, but anyhow, let us know what you think. Leave comments. Be polite, please. Anyway, so enough of that. My name's Alan Parks.
And I'm Mark Larson.
And we are
The
the Smart
Smart Fellers.
Fellers. See you guys next time.
Bye.